Well, it's Wednesday morning, and that means it's time for day 23 of the Bible Memory Challenge. I'm glad to have you with us this morning. Today we'll be looking at Philippians chapter 1, verse 23. So hopefully you got through Monday and Tuesday's verses okay. We talked about Monday's verse was probably quite easy for you. Yesterday's verse may have been a little more challenging, but hopefully it started to click for you, and it will certainly click more and more as the days progress. Today's verse 23 continues this thought that Paul began back in verse 21, where he says, "For to me to live is Christ, and to die is gain." And he's considering this quandary between these two options, these two great options between life and death. So let's look at 123. 123. I am hard pressed between the two. My desire is to depart and be with Christ, for that is far better. 123. I am hard pressed between the two. My desire is to depart and be with Christ, for that is far better. So once again, read that verse very slowly, at least 10 times. Look at every single word. Try to photograph every word as you go through them and think about what Paul is saying here. I went and we looked at my little notebook I used for this verse when I first tried to learn it. And I noticed I had a couple little pictures for this verse. These pictures are very crude, so I won't show them to you because I'm not an artist. But I drew a picture of like a stone and drew the word life within the little stone. Drew another stone below that, like a little circle, and drew the word death, and then drew a little stick figure man in between. So that was all I needed to remind me that I'm hard pressed between the two. I'm hard pressed between life and death. And that's, once again, you just need little things sort of to jog your memory. And then he says, my desire is to depart and be with Christ. And so right beside those two little stones, I drew the word desire and an arrow going up into the sky and then draw a cross. So my desire is to depart and be with Christ. So once again, that's just a couple little things that I use to help me to remember that verse. Also, what helped me let me know that this is verse 23 is it says I'm hard pressed between the two. Okay, this might, if you're a sports fan, this might work for you. If you're not, this probably will not work for you. But Michael Jordan, his number was 23. He was an incredible defensive player. And so when it says I'm hard pressed, I'm thinking about Michael Jordan playing basketball, doing a full court hard press against the opponents. And once again, it's a simple little thing, but I just think 23, that's Michael Jordan. I'm hard pressed. And so that when I read that I'm hard pressed between the two, immediately I go to Michael Jordan. Immediately I know it's verse 23. Once again, it may be sort of a very simple, maybe odd, but as I've mentioned before, the more odd, the more visual, those are the things that's more memorable for you. And so if you read any books on memory, not just Bible memory, but memory in general, it talks about using very visual, very strange illustrations, ones that are personal for you. That illustration for Michael Jordan may not work for you. If you're not a sports fan, you can come up with your own illustration. But anyway, I hope that is helpful to you. As I say, it's hump day, and so tomorrow we'll be on doing Thursday's verse, and Friday, and then we'll have finished our 5th week. So you guys are, as I always say every day, you're doing great. Hang in there, and God bless you guys, and we will see you tomorrow.